Welcome to another great podcast with another distinguished leader today at the Great Lakes podcast. And I'm very happy to introduce you to our next speaker, Dr. Marvin Krislov, the president of Pace University, joining us live from the campus.
Hello, it's great to be here.
So, my first question to you, Marvin, would be how do you see universities of today reimagine higher education and with respect to Pace University?
So, what students and families are telling us is they want education that's really relevant to them, not only in learning about the world, but in positioning them for great jobs and great careers. And so what we need to do as universities, and Pace University really takes this mission seriously, is make sure that our education equips students with the skills, the knowledge they need, but also gets them on the path that will not only lead to successful jobs, but careers and lives. Very important.
Great. And while we are in a rapidly evolving world, and especially with respect to higher educational institutions, pretty much every day you see there's a new technology, new demand for skills coming into the picture. So according to you, what are the skills that today's generation need to focus on?
So they're the basics that have always been, and that includes reading, writing, analytical thinking, quantitative ability. But we also want to make sure that students are using the technology that's developing. And particularly, I think artificial intelligence is really important. Every undergraduate student that comes to PACE is going to take a 6-week module as part of their introduction to computer science, where they're going to learn how to use artificial intelligence. And artificial intelligence is really changing everything. It's not only changing business and technology, but even the way we think about the arts and culture and so forth. So I think keeping abreast of the technology, learning how to use it, learning how to be critical about its limitations is very much essential to the education today.
That's interesting. In fact, many institutions around the world are embracing innovative approaches, and especially to enhance their student engagement as well as to increase the learning outcomes, right? And especially at Great Lakes as well, for us, we are pretty much globalizing our courses, our curriculum. In fact, our one-year program on the PGPM has just been revamped on the Chennai campus as well. And on the Gurgaon campus, we are just following the path, and we are now looking forward to insights coming in from institutions like yours. So maybe if you could share some thoughts on that.
So international education, international experiences are definitely part of what we believe that students today should have. And we welcome international students. And we also encourage our students to study abroad and to have international experiences. I think that what we also want to do is make sure that students are helping be active participants in shaping their education and thinking about not only their classwork, but their extracurricular activities and their internships and their jobs as well. And so what we do is we ask students to craft their PACE path, which allows them to move through their time at PACE, make the choices that make sense for them. And as they change their mind, they can modify the PACE path. But it's education that belongs to them. And students and their families have invested time and money. So they should make sure that they get the best possible experience out of that.
I totally agree with you. And in this case, especially in India, the students along with their parents are the ones who are enrolling into such high quality of education. So my next question to you, Marvin, is what attracted you to India and especially to Great Lakes?
So I have been visiting India since I was quite a young person in the 1980s, and I have developed enormous affection. I studied Indian history at Oxford, and I have developed enormous respect for India and the Indian people. And India has been the home for a lot of our most successful students and faculty. We have a lot of alumni right now who are living in India, who have studied at Pace. And we've heard about Great Lakes and what is happening and the very innovative approach you're taking to education, combining the experiential education, which is also part of our signature method, with excellent education as well. So we feel that our two institutions are really well aligned.
Absolutely. And being from New York, your institution, I think at a fantastic location, students have a lot of opportunity, and especially for your students as well back in, Delhi and in Chennai, where there's immense opportunities for startups, right? And if you look at around you, especially from the campus that we are in sitting right now, you look at companies like Google or the Microsoft or the Meta, they're just around here in Delhi. And when your students come over to Great Lakes, I believe there's a lot of similarities that you would find. So my next question to you is, with respect to this collaboration between Great Lakes and Pace University, what are your expectations?
So the startup culture and the entrepreneurship, I think, is something that definitely links us. And I will say we have a great entrepreneurship program and a lot of the most active participants in that. And they bridge business and tech, which is sort of our sweet spot. A lot of them do hail from India. So what are my expectations? I hope that we will have students and faculty who go between our two campuses, our two institutions, learn from each other, do joint research projects, and grow, because it's going to benefit both, because it truly is a global environment. India is increasingly a significant player. I was just at a conference yesterday where they said it's not just India's decade, it's India's century. And we hear that, and we know we want to be part of that as well.
Absolutely. I think that's really, music to the ears when you hear, somebody like you talk about that. And we're really very much looking forward to this collaboration. My last question to you, Marvin, as part of this dialogue is, what would be the 3 key mantras that you would like to share with the leaders of tomorrow?
So I would say always be curious, take some risks, and be kind to yourself and others.
Absolutely. I couldn't agree more. So curious, stay kind, and of course, as well, be relevant, with whatever is happening around you. So be agile, right? I truly hear you, Marvin. And thank you so much for coming over to Great Lakes today. And it's an honor to host you at campus.
It's been a pleasure. I've been so pleased with this visit. Thank you.
Thanks a lot. With that, we've come to the end of this episode, and we look forward to seeing you at the next one very soon.